So, my name is Jose Trejo, and this is my final project over Smite. So, what I'm doing here is selecting a god, and unfortunately, at the beginning of the Smite campaign, you don't really have many choices. There's different ideologies, if you would, and so I'm gonna select Thor because he kind of reminds me of Hercules. In this game, Thor is really big. He's powerful. Nobody messes with him, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and presume that that's my Hercules. So Smite, um, there's different types of campaigns or fighting games that you can engage in. The one that I'm going to do right now is the I guess the main one, and in this one, in Conquest, you have to work with your other teammates. You get a team of three people that play gods. Also, um, you have to work together in order to defeat the other team. And the main point of this game is to destroy the other team's fountains, their phoenix, and their golem. So right now we appeared on our team's fountain, and that's where we can gather our health. We can collect our we can buy items to become more powerful. Right here, there's different types of relics and tools that you can use. There's damage. There's um, what are these? So there's damage. There's core. There's relics to add powers. To the left, there's a mana camp. Um, a mana camp, basically you defeat a monster and you get more mana. Mana is the blue bar that you see at the bottom of the screen, and that bar gives you the ability, like powers. It's kind of like your power bar, and the green one is your health bar. Uh, the little units that I'm running behind now are minions. They are basically the main fighting force that we use, and they are small mortal soldiers that spawn in small groups right in front of our fountain, and then we technically use them as shock troops. They go in ahead and try to hurt the other players and the fountains, so we don't have to get hurt, the gods. Um, right here, Thor has many abilities. Right now, that's the smackdown of Mjolnir. Is his hammer. So the way I see it, the way I see Thor as Hercules is because right now in this game, what I'm doing here is bringing down the enemy's fountain, and I'm not really. I mean, you can work with others, but right now I was just doing it on my own, kind of like to get my own chaos, because the more people I injure and the more fountains I destroy, and I guess the more damage I create, you get more. I want to say chaos, but you get more points. Your abilities can become stronger. You level up. It's kind of like in the heroic code, uh, in Greek society, when when a hero would fight, they technically what you wanted to do was to get more chaos, to get people to know you, to know your name, to be respectful of your name. And so you would go out, you would try to be as victorious as possible, as brutal as possible, and that way people would know you. And a lot of what occurs in this game is that you try to influence uh, as much damage as you can. Right now, you see I'm going toward the fountain. I'm trying to bring it down on my own because it would give me a lot of points. It would give me a lot of chaos, in a sense, and that would become more powerful in order to take on my enemies. But the the bad thing is about that the fountains they should shoot at you, and so you gotta be careful. So right now, what I'm doing is going back to the fountain. When you're in your fountain, these are Thor's abilities. Uh, the first one is throwing Mjolnir, his hammer. Hits all the enemies in his path. The second one is the smack of Mjolnir. Um, it like breaks the ground and hits all the enemies in his path. The third one is kind of like an area attack. You he just spins his hammer around and hits all enemies in the area. And then the fourth one, which is the most powerful one, I guess, is when you when you use that one, Thor goes up into the sky, uh, levitates for a second, and you can choose where to land and inflict more damage. So, like I said, a lot of this game involves strategy, but your teammates and you don't really have to communicate. The fountain was just brought down. That was right here because everyone's trying to get as many points as possible, and usually people do communicate. You can press the enter key and you can type to your teammates and you could coordinate, but I just got killed by Anubis. Um, I guess what you really want to do is it's kind of like a communication that you don't really need to talk to them. You understand what you need to do, what they need to do, and just kind of happens. So Smite, um, Smite is a strategy game. The fighting on it is not really what you would call a traditional Greek or Roman warfare. There's Hercules right there, or Heracles. So in in Smite, there's not really like armies, and there's not really like a general leading armies. There's not like there is a point to the campaign, I guess you can say a campaign. But it's not a militaristic game. It's just kind of like a melee game, RPG. In um, ancient Greece, what they would do most of the time is, yes, there were heroes and there were people that trying to gain chaos and they were trying to be individualistic and all, but there was a leading general and people would follow orders. And so, my second paper I wrote about Alexander the Great because we talked about military um, military history, and so what Alexander uh, the Great would do, he had this like really okay. So sorry, right here is a damage camp, and this kind of works like Chaos. Also, you would defeat people or monsters on your way. I kind of consider also like I guess Hercules' labors, making your legend grow. And by defeating this monster, you get increased damage. So for the next minute and a half, 2 minutes, I think, you create more damage. You can inflict more damage, and it kind of works like Chaos. People respect you more. You become more feared and stuff like that. But anyway, back to Alexander the Great. So his warfare was completely different to what we see in Smite. Smite is very individualistic. Yeah, there's teammates, but it's individualistic. And during under Alexander the Great, uh, it was just basically just a whole army. Everyone had armor and shields and spears and swords. The army was large, well organized. Um, the most successful strategy uh, that was back then was using hoplites in a tight formation called the phalanx, and each man protected both himself and partially his neighbor with a large shield they carried on their left arm. There's Thor's powerful attack. There's Hercules, who I want to get because he killed me and I really want to kill him. And it would go on, I guess it would be parallel to Disproportionate Revenge. I really want to kill him more than he kills me. Anyway, back to the army. The phalanx normally consisted about 500 to 600 men up until the Peloponnesian War. But after the defeat of Athens in the Peloponnesian War, Sparta, um, they were in control for a little bit, and then Greece was weak and divided. Philip became the king of Macedon. He made immediate changes to the army. He increased the size of the army from 10,000 to 24,000. He enlarged the cavalry from 600 to 3,500 around. He increased the size, changed strategies, changed the weaponry, and he would unite Greece under the rule of Macedon against Persia. This size of army and the strategies and all would be inherited by his son, Alexander the Great. Now, Alexander the Great is known to be one of the best, if not the best, military commander in history. Um, he he definitely did not use this type of warfare like we see in Smite. Smite is not really a very accurate game when it comes to warfare because it's just gods that people used to revere back in the day. Okay, so this right here is the golem. The golem is basically the most vulnerable part of the team, and it's defended by the towers, the phoenix that we destroyed also, and all the players. And okay, so I'm looking at the store, and I want to upgrade Thor's weapons so he can do more damage, but I have automatic upgrades turned on, so I don't need to do anything. It'll just do it by itself. So basically, the strategy here is just send the minions in, trying to destroy the towers, the phoenix, and get to the golem and win. There's not really like Alexander or military commanders back in the day. So my team defeated the phoenix. I mean the golem before I even got there. So it's kind of like I was saying, very individualistic. They didn't really need to wait for me. Um, but besides that, I get the points for victory too. I do get extra points, I guess, for my own kills. Um, it happens to be kind of like Kleos, the the heroic legend. The more you become victorious, the more you do, um, the more people you hurt, I guess, or let get yourself be known. You People know you better, so it's kind of like that in Smite. You gain level. So this third level that I'm going to play in the tutorial is the arena. Um, the arena is, I would say, very much like a Coliseum. It's same setup. It's kind of like the, excuse me. It's kind of like the Roman games back in the day. The last thing we talked about in the semester, like gladiatorial games. But I still get to play as Thor because there isn't really much choice, and I like him better than like all the other ones. He is very he's a strong character. He is hand to hand combat with his hammer, and I could use other characters, but I don't like the magic characters as much because they can't get as close and they're not as powerful. Right there at the bottom right is Hercules again. He's the only god that we really talked about in the semester. Um, that's because Smite, yes, it includes Greek and Roman gods, but they include Egyptian, Chinese, Indian, all types of gods. So I really tried to have Greek and Roman gods more, but wasn't really given a choice. So here, what we're trying to do, like right now, they're telling me to buy Thor's boots for faster movement. They're telling me to buy upgrades, a relic. I don't really want to buy a relic, so I'm just gonna go ahead and go. Right here, it's kind of like the 12 flavors, like I said earlier. You just, it's kind of like Thor just going on his own, defeating these monsters, and defeating each monster, like this one, the mana. Mana is like kind of like mana is a word for spirit. So mana gives you abilities. This, funny enough, looks like the Nemean lion, I guess, in a way, if not for the tail and the color. It's just a really big lion. Kind of like the one Hercules defeated in one of his 12 labors. And this one includes the defeating him is more damage. Right now, I have to defeat 10 minions from the opposite team, and I'm just using Thor's abilities. This one is my favorite because I get a lot done. Uh, Throwing Mjolnir, you have to be really accurate. But anyway, the the fighting of the minions gives you chaos, and that's what I really want in this arena. In the arena, if you look under the circular map on the top right, there is a number. There's two numbers, 100 and 95. The 100 is my team, and the 95 is the other team, the red. Again, just have to buy upgrades. I need to buy every once in a while. For some reason, the automatic upgrade does not work. Anyway, the two numbers under the map, the 100 represents my team, and those are called tickets for some reason. It's not lives, but 92, 91, 89 for the other team, 87. You have like targets in this game that you want to get in this mode, in the arena mode, and that gives the enemy less tickets, and the team that runs out of tickets loses, so you have to defeat the other team. Right now, just fighting. I really want to get, there you go, I got a kill with Mjolnir, the hammer. Had to throw it, but that gives me a lot of chaos. Defeating a god gives you a lot of chaos, and you are able to level up faster. And by leveling up, your attack um, speed, your damage increase, your health increases. So um, I guess the main, there's Hercules again, who I really want to get because he got me a lot in the last game. I really need uh, revenge, and I don't want him to basically diss me. I want to be able to say that I can defeat him more. So hopefully I can do something. Here we go. Let's see. he's getting away. I need to back up because I'm out of health here. Um, so I guess the main difference in the modes is that in this mode, what you really want to do is make sure the other team loses tickets before you do. So you fight them, defeat all the minions, try to stay alive as much as you can. Um, that way your team does not lose as many tickets. We're doing a really good job here, 96 to 38, 91 now, 90. Anyway, so I just died. So that does not help my team. What you really want to do is just get back to the fountain. So in the other one, in the other mode, you it doesn't really matter that you die or you defeat other like enemy gods. It does matter in the sense that it gives you chaos and you level up and you can um, get new abilities and strengthen your abilities, but it doesn't really matter. The purpose of the the mode over there is to destroy the fountains, destroy the phoenix, destroy the golem, and that's how you win the game. In this one, this really boils down to so I got another kill. That helps me out a lot. Um, in this one, it's kind of like the gladiatorial games. It's just the survival. You have to kill before you get killed. It emphasizes what the games were like back then. Back in Rome and the Roman games, the gladiatorial games, they were brutal. It wasn't really like, besides there were chariot races, there were naval battles, they were human versus animal contests. You had to survive against lions, tigers, etc. Um, what really was the main, I guess, the main dish, if you would, was the gladiatorial battles, and that's just battles of survival. Men killing each other, trying not to die, and the crowd would just be going nuts. So this one boils down to the same. Basically, the only um, thing I have left here is just make sure the other team runs out of tickets first. They're really close. They're at 10, so I really didn't get to kill Hercules as I wanted. Need to go back to the base and heal myself. Um, I will play another one of these in a second when this one's done. I'll go ahead and play another arena and hope that I do better. Okay, so this should be it. Get a couple tickets with this guy here. No, just one. Okay. Meanwhile, well, there's Hercules. I'm trying to hurt him. Let's see if I get to do it. Get my Kleos. Don't let him diss me, as he did. Trying to chase him. I can't allow him to diss me. There you go. Got my Kleos back. I feel like I got a sense of revenge. Disproportionate revenge, in a sense. And now I'm just basically just finishing the game. I'll have to finish it with this kill right here. And there it goes. Nope. Almost there. There you go. Okay, so once their tickets run out, basically their camp implodes or whatever, those things fall off, and that is it. And so I guess it relates to ancient Rome in the way that you want to be able to survive and make sure you inflict more damage on the other person, the other, I guess, your opponents. There we go. So just one more. Here we go. So I'll play number 4, and that should be the last of it. All right. So I guess I will choose Thor again. I really wish that earlier in the game, as I am, there was more options of gods, because I really wish I could play as Hercules. Um, Zeus would be good. Hades would be really cool. Smite is very accurate in the depiction of these gods most of the time, because Hades is, in ancient mythology, Hades is described as an attractive man with a beard. Hades is my example for some reason. And in this game, Hades, later you encounter him, and he basically looks like the Grim Reaper, doesn't really have a face. Okay, so I need to purchase relics before I go out, unlike last time. Um, Also, Hercules, it's, I guess it's kind of accurate. They show him really strong, really um, focused, I guess. But he does this thing where he grabs the ground and he raises this giant boulder and throws it at you. Okay, let's see if I can get this skill to get started. Maybe not. I don't want to go in there because I get hit. So yeah, if you look around, I'm gonna go back to the fountain here for a second. If you look around, you see how big this arena is, and it looks like the Colosseum. Back in the day, the Colosseum was the biggest structure, and it fit tens of thousands of people. And so I like that. I like this Colosseum look, the arena, because it gives you a sense, I guess, in a way, of feeling what they felt. Here we go for Ra. I got a kill, and I need to get out. I'm not doing as well this time, and I'm dead. But for some reason, my team still has more tickets than the other team. Okay. Okay, so the minions, basically just mortal soldiers that we send. We really want them to get hurt before us, especially in the other mode, the conquest mode. You want to send them to the towers and to the phoenix and to the golem before, so that they get hit while you attack the another level up. I got a lot of Cleos. I'm actually doing better this time. I thought I wasn't, but I'm leveling up faster. And I'm dead again. That's what happens when you get confident in this game. Um, but yes, the minions, you want to send them first. It's kind of sad that you do that, but they're kind of, I guess, expendable, and that way you get the towers or the golem or the phoenix distracted, and you get to destroy them, and you get the Kleos. So here's again the lion. I'm going on a quote unquote labor to increase my damage, and that way I become more powerful. Attack speed, why not? Let's do this. Might as well. This really feels like the perfect depiction of um, getting your name known, your legend grown, kind of like um, Homer when he told, of course the tower got me. Well, he told the Cyclops, when they ask you who did this, tell them it was me. Um, that way, his Kaleos, he would get the Kaleos, the honor of that, I guess, victory, and they wouldn't go to anywhere else. Um, so it's kind of like the same way those little, I guess, side quests, the destroying of the monster, so you get more damage, and your attack speed goes up, and everything like that. It it seems that way to me. And so Smite is really different when it comes to um, like military tactics. It's just gods um, against gods, and it works in the way that you get to see the legend of the gods and how powerful they were, you know, to people that revered them. You get to see kind of like the effects of the chaos of the heroic legend, not letting anyone diss you, um, disproportionate revenge, just being a brave, all-out warrior as legends had the heroes being, and so it's it's a cool game to play. But but yeah, the the battle here will go on for a long time. I'm sure I'm not even halfway done here, but um, I got to show the different modes. I guess there's more, but then this video would never end. I got to show two of the main modes. I would call them the main two, the only ones I play. Um, I got to show the military aspects of the game, the minions, the gods, the strategies, the all-out warfare technically, because there isn't really a strategy other than attack and gain chaos and mana and points. Um, and also the gods. They are. Let's see if I can get this guy. Let's go. Okay, very good. Um, they're known for their power. The gods. They're known for okay. They're known for their abilities, their mythical powers. In this game, the the writers and the producers of this game made a really good job on looking up and exploring the powers, their abilities, the legends of these heroes, these gods, and bringing them out. Um, so yes, I am going to end the video here, just because otherwise this would go on forever. Thank you very much for watching, and my name is Jose Trejo. Goodbye.